June is Alzheimer's and Brain Awareness Month, and it's an opportunity to spread the word and discuss Alzheimer's disease and other dementias. And here to tell us more about this is Jennifer Braisted. She's the Director of Government Affairs for the Alzheimer's Association. The Florida chapter is here. So Jennifer, thank you so much for being here with us. And I want to jump right in because I was reading that the FDA recently approved some treatments that will kind of help slow down the progression of Alzheimer's. Talk to us about that.
So it's incredibly exciting. So for the first time, there are 2 FDA-approved treatments that will actually work to slow the progression of the disease. This is the first time that we have had treatments that actually work to slow down the underlying causes of the disease. There are drugs that are out there now, but they just work on symptoms of the disease. So these are the first ones that really slow down the progression of the disease.
And is this for anyone at any stage of Alzheimer's, or do you have to be kind of early on to do it?
Yes, so you have to be in the early stages of the disease, which is why early detection, early diagnosis is so critical. But these are for those who are in the early stages of Alzheimer's or who have something called mild cognitive impairment. But there is a issue. These drugs are approved by the FDA, but unfortunately, the federal agency that approves payment for Medicare and Medicaid, which is CMS, they have actually denied coverage of this disease. This is the first time that they have ever done that for a class of drugs. And so, we are working to ensure that there's access now to these treatments because, like you said, it's only for a specific subset of people with Alzheimer's or cognitive impairment.
And that's where you guys step into, just in providing support to people that are going through this and their families as well.
Absolutely. So, we want to make sure that no one is alone when they're going through this journey. So we have local resources. We are advocating as an organization to ensure that CMS, reverses this decision, but we have a 24/7 helpline, which is really a lifeline for families. They can call 365 days a year. The number is 800-272-3900, and it's available all the time. It's available in over 200 different languages, and it's for anybody, whether you suspect your loved one may have some signs of Alzheimer's or you are currently caring for your loved one and trying to get them to bathe or get them dressed, and we can work through some tips for them.
Jennifer, let's talk about the signs of what people maybe should be looking for.
Yeah, so it's really memory loss that affects daily life. It's challenges in solving problems. It's difficulty completing familiar tasks. If people do feel we have the 10 warning signs of Alzheimer's, I would recommend going to alz.org, which is our website. They can see the 10 warning signs. And the really nice thing about our website too is we provide examples of what's typical. So, for memory loss that affects daily life, maybe forgetting an appointment, but then remembering it later. That could be typical.
We're not talking like you're trying to run out the door and you can't find your cell phone kind of thing.
Right,
and you had it 5 minutes ago.
I mean, a lot of times people talk about forgetting your keys, but of course, the key is to be able to retrace your steps and know where you place them. So that's important. And then another big thing with later in Alzheimer's is forgetting what the key actually does, what that, so
let's talk about some of the things that people can do to maybe reduce their risk a little bit.
Sure. So, the biggest risk factor for Alzheimer's is age and family history.
65 and older, right?
Correct. Correct. But, research is really showing there is evidence that there are ways to reduce your risk. So it's, one thing is brain injury really increases your risk as well. So if you're going to ride your bike, make sure you're wearing your helmet.
You mentioned education as well. Maybe signing up for some classes.
Yeah, whether it's at a community center or an online class, staying active, learning new things, even doing crossword puzzles or Sudoku.
Keeping that brain active,
exactly,
that mind active.
Learning new things. And then, key is physical activity. There's a real strong correlation between heart health and brain health. If you're doing good for your heart, it's going to follow, your brain's going to follow.
All right, Jennifer, thank you so much for being here with us this morning. And if you want more information about what we just spoke about or those resources that Jennifer was talking about, you can head to our website, WPBF.com. We have all the information listed for you there, along with a link to their website. Vanessa.
Thanks, Nat.